Welcome back today in the Bell 206. We are in Los Angeles. To be precise, we are at Van Nuys Airport, a rather busy GA airport in the San Fernando Valley. And today we are going to fly some of LA's heli-lanes. You'll find the helicopter lanes in the helicopter route chart that you can get free of charge on the website of the FAA. Now you saw our livery. We are November 664 Papa Delta. I think it's the last remaining Bell 206 in the Los Angeles Police helicopter fleet. They mainly use AS-50s, but they have been using 206s, and I think they still have one in operation. We are going to fly from Van Nuys Airport along the Ventura Freeway eastbound, and then at the intersection of Ventura and the 101 we're going to turn to the southeast and fly over to LA downtown, where the LAPD helipad is located. It's called the Hooper Memorial Helipad. You will find it northeast of the downtown area. Now, the airspace around Los Angeles in real life is very busy. If you have been there, I've been there twice, you can hear a lot of air traffic going around, especially helicopters. You have lots of different airports, complicated airspace, and yeah, lots of GA air traffic, and of course the airliners going in and out of KLAX. So to keep things structured, they published helicopter routes on that specific chart that get you in and around Los Angeles. I don't think they're mandatory, so you do not have to use them, but today we are going to. Since we go east on Ventura Freeway, we will penetrate Class Charlie airspace of Burbank Airport, which is just a few miles to the east, and naturally we need to ask permission to do that. Van Nuys in real life is towered, however on the Vatsim network it's very rarely towered at all. So we are going to contact the next higher up ATC station, which is SoCal Approach.
3,000 scattered, 25,000 scattered, temperature 16, 2.9er, altimeter 3008, instrument approaches and air navigation RFP approaches runway 24 right and 25 left. Or vector for visual approach will be provided. Simultaneous visual approaches to all runways are in progress. Simultaneous instrument departures in progress, runways 24 and 25. North is 2 airmen. Andex system in use. Activate transponder with mode C on all taxiways and runways. Read all runway hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Bravo.
For weather information, I just listened in on the KLAX ATIS since Van Nuys currently has no ATIS up. Now let's switch over to SoCal Approach.
Back 2459, we're going to hold off on this bush. There's the Lufthansa 74 that will be blocking our...
Now you notice it's a pretty busy frequency. SoCal Approach handles quite a few airports at the same time. When you are on a busy frequency, don't just start talking. Wait for the right moment, be patient, and it is sometimes a good idea to just call the controller with your call sign and wait for him to call you back at a convenient moment, rather than giving him all the information at once when the frequency is very busy. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to call him now with my call sign and wait for him to answer. SoCal Approach, helicopter November 664 Papa Delta.
For 664 Papa Delta, SoCal Approach.
November 664 Papa Delta, Bell 206 at Van Nuys, West Apron, request east departure and transition class Charlie Burbank, east via Ventura, then south on Hollywood, 1,500 feet.
For 664 Papa Delta, SoCal Squawk 4602, and advise ready for departure.
4602, advise ready, November 664 Papa Delta. Now, since we are going through Class Charlie airspace, so through controlled airspace, we are going to get a transponder code. Don't forget to activate Mode Charlie so the controller can see you on his screen with altitude reporting. Now, sometimes when you leave controlled airspace, the ATC controller will tell you to squawk VFR. That means that you have to push in the universal VFR transponder code, which in the United States is 1200.
15 left, wait Delta 66.
Now as I do my hover check here, sorry about the low frame rates and the occasional jitter. I'm flying the Bell 206 by Cowansim, which is pretty heavy on the frame rates. At the same time, I'm recording this with a screen capture program, and on top of that, there are a lot of autogen buildings in the LA area, even in the default scenery of X-Plane. You will also notice that I keep getting disconnected from the Vatsim network. The reason for that is that X-Plane as a simulator sort of slows down real time whenever your frame rates get low in order to compensate. However, that would mess up with the real-time ATC of Vatsim. So if you're playing X-Plane and your frame rates get too low, you get a warning, and I think after 20 seconds or so, you are being disconnected from the network. This happened to me a lot during this flight, however, I decided to still show it to you. I just reconnected and I edited out the short pauses that I made to reconnect. Now, if SoCal approach is not online, you usually have LA Center covering a large area from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. They're online rather often. Okay, ready for departure. Let's take off. November 664 Papa Delta, ready for departure. Then nice.
We're 664 Papa Delta, departure, non-movement areas at your own risk, wind 050 at 4. Your eastbound departures are approved on the Ventura.
Departure at own risk and eastbound departure approved. November 664 Papa Delta. Now, if they tell you that the departure is at your own risk, this is something that they often do with helicopters that want to take off or land on a non-movement area or an area that they cannot see properly, and they basically tell you that they are not liable if anything should go wrong.
Delta 4134, clear direct to Tiller.
SoCal approach, Delta 382, we'll be needing to go back to our gate. We have some issue in our engine actually.
Left down to 382 heavy, roger, you can pull back into the gate there.
Pull back into the gate, Delta 382.
No, I probably should fly runway heading here up to the flood basin as indicated by the chart due to noise abatement rules. But in order to shorten the video a little bit, I cut across, and I also think that LAPD probably can deviate from these procedures.
Sorry, I was doing housekeeping things. Southwest 1840, fly the runway head.
Beyond those hills at our 2 o'clock position, there's Santa Monica, and then comes LAX, the main international airport of Los Angeles.
69, stalled in 285 heading.
Now to our left is the San Diego Freeway, and coming up in front of us is the flood basin. You can see that on your chart. And we are flying straight at the intersection of San Diego and Ventura Freeway, where we are going to turn east.
Delta 66, turn right direct Tiller.
Correct, Tiller, Delta 66.
Now the Heli-Lanes in Los Angeles are rather easy to follow because they mainly run along large highways and freeways.
134 LA Center on 135.55.
Over to 135.55. Walker 7769.
Southwest 1840, radar contact, turn left direct to, actually, turn left direct Paradise, climb and maintain 11000.
Direct Paradise, 11000, Southwest 1840.
And SoCal serving 47, we're clear, runway 8, we'll be taxiing into Alpha 5. Couple at once, American 1625, turn left heading 230 and join the 25 left localizing.
230 and join 25 left localizer, American 1625.
Normal 12860 is ready to taxi over the way.
Number 12860, runway 16 right, taxi Alpha.
16 right, taxi Alpha, number 1268.
Delta 4134, contact LA Center 135.55.
Now, coming up in a few miles is the intersection of the Ventura Freeway and the Hollywood Freeway, and we are going to follow the latter southeastbound.
Runway 15 via Delta Bravo, Delta 4116.
There's the intersection, and at our, 10, 11 o'clock position is Burbank Airport.
1625, 2 miles from GG, and you cleared ILS, runway 25 left. American 1625, cleared ILS, runway 25 left.
Clear ILS 25 left, American 1625.
American 2459, ready for taxi.
Now, as I was disconnected from the network, apparently ATC contacted me. He's going to try again in a few seconds. However, the first time I did not understand him, and before I could ask him to say again, I was again disconnected from the network. Now, right below us should be Universal Studios and the hillside on our 11 o'clock position. That's the Hollywood Hills with the famous sign, and the water body coming up, that's the Hollywood Reservoir. And up ahead in the distance, you can already make out the skyscrapers of downtown LA.
Taxi via Bravo for runway 25 right, and we'll squawk mode Charlie on Tech 2 base.
November 4 Papa Delta, if you didn't copy before your radar contact now south of Burbank, altitude indicates 1,600, what's the destination? Skywood 3790, cautioning turbulence, previous departure, Super Airbus, runway 24 left, line up and wait.
24 left, line up and wait, Skywood 3790.
November 664 Papa Delta, say again please.
Number 4 Papa Delta, go ahead.
We got disconnected. Could you say your last transmission again for us? November 664 Papa Delta.
Yeah, just wondering your destination.
It's the LAPD Hooper helipad.
Number 4 Papa Delta, roger. Just report landing assured at the helipad.
Report landing assured. November 664 Papa Delta. Report landing assured. That means that you are going to contact ATC once you've successfully landed and tell them.
Runway 21, clear to land.
Runway 21, clear to land, 20 mil.
Clear direct PV as well.
Direct PD, speedbird 2682.
Southwest 1840, contact SoCal approach 119.6.
As we're passing over the Hollywood and Sunset Boulevard here, Just a quick word about the call sign. ATC actually shortened my call sign to November 4 Papa Delta. However, I didn't react to that. If ATC shortens your call sign, you are yourself allowed to use that shortened call sign. However, I did continue to call myself November 664 Papa Delta. No reason for that, I just simply forgot. Now, after I did get disconnected again, I switched over to Unicom to advise on my intentions. I'm not in controlled airspace anymore, so in Los Angeles there are specific frequencies for helicopters that are flying on these Heli-Lanes. And on these frequencies they are encouraged to advise on their intentions. LA traffic, helicopter November 664 Papa Delta, 4 miles northwest downtown, 1500, southeastbound on Hollywood for LAPD Hooper. Now on our 2 o'clock position, downtown LA, and on our 11 o'clock position you can see the Dodger Stadium coming up. Echo Park Lake to our left. The first time I stayed in Los Angeles, I stayed in a hotel on 7th Street, just outside the downtown ring here. It would be roughly a few miles to our 3 o'clock position. Now, Hooper Memorial Helipad is already visible on the left-hand side of the freeway. It's the last flat brick building. Now I stopped the descent a little bit too early here, so I'm coming in a bit high on the approach. However, that's LAPD helipad There are 2 main pads for takeoff and landing, and then there are a few parking spots. I think they have up to 16 helicopters. Now the add-on scenery for Hooper is, I think it's an X-Plane 10 version, so I get an even bigger drop in frame rates now as I approach it. And you can see some objects floating in the air. The textures aren't that good. Other than that, it's pretty much like the original. I'm going to take one of these pads. Let's take number 9. Oop. Now it's going to be difficult. Frame rates are really low. Let's just scoot over to pad 9 here and set it down. And after that, I'm going to contact SoCal Approach again and tell him that I landed. So there we go, November 664 Papa Delta arrived at LAPD helipad in downtown LA. We've been flying the Ventura and Hollywood helicopter routes that you can find in the helicopter route chart. Yeah, if you like, check out the LA airspace. It's very interesting. You got a lot of airports that you can fly to, a lot of transitions through complicated airspace. And I recommend trying out the LAX transition, which requires you to fly below 150 feet along the coastline, or take a short hop over to Catalina Island. November 4 Papa Delta landed LAPD Hooper.
November 4 Papa Delta, roger, thank you.
Alright, that concludes our short hop flying the LA Heli-Lanes. Hope you liked it, hope you learned something, and see you around.
American 2459, contact LA Center on 135.55.